Coach Caleb Rawls Show, Dixie Country 100.1 Prattville, live catching on YouTube. You can watch us live right here. Also, DixieCountry.com. Listen to it. Also, ask Alexa, play Dixie Country. And, man, not joining me right off the top is Coach Caleb Rawls. Walking in, got a lot of busy things, but head coach Sam Peach, a legend, Coach Peak at Prattville. And join me right off the top, man. You got a granddaughter out here cheerleading.
Absolutely.
What's the vibe for you?
Oh, I enjoy the retirement thing. That way I can go at my own pace, and I can actually enjoy going to an athletic contest without worrying about different things that comes along with the territory.
All right, so last stop, East Memorial Christian. You're coaching football over there.
We did. We had a couple of medical issues last year that forced me out a little bit early, and we're going through and working through those situations, and everything's fine. We're doing really good. Hey,
Coach,
I'm looking a whole lot better already.
Coach got the cheerleaders behind us right here. We are at Stanley-Jensen, little Prattville game, playing Benjamin Russell, I believe, in 7th grade football. I have an 8th grade football game coming up right afterwards as well. Want to get out here. If you want to come to Stanley-Jensen, some really good football. Of course, tomorrow night is the game that we're trying to preview. Want to wrap up last week, Coach Peak. Big Enterprise win 28-14. I know you're keeping up with the Lion Nation. You're out here watching some cheerleaders, watching some young guys going out and playing some football. But I know from your heyday with Tumco Week for the Prattville community, bragging rights. What's that mean for people that just walk around with a big lion P on their chest?
Well, they have to understand, this is Prattville, Alabama, and this is, we're a community of one. Unlike several other schools, Montgomery, Birmingham, that has several different schools, several different identities within that school system. We are Prattville. Everyone goes to Prattville, junior high, elementary school, and eventually get to play for a great young guy by the
Coach
name
Rawls.
of Caleb Rawls right there. So I'm going to take a little bragging rights. That young man played for me several years ago. And,
so did I.
And he made me look a whole lot better than what I was.
Coach, man, I can't thank you enough for coming on. Trying to jump in. Coach Ross, man, I mean, a busy guy trying to run more like a minor league system. It's kind of how being a high school coach in 7A is nowadays.
You got to.
Coach, final thoughts for you. I mean, Nick's journey for you. I mean, I didn't expect you out there coaching football, but you surprised me the past couple seasons. Your team very, very good in some 8-man football.
Yes, sir.
What was that like just to get a little bit of lasting impact to get out there and, coach a sport you ain't coached in a while?
Well, I got introduced to 8-man football when I scored 79 points and lost.
Oh, man.
So welcome to the new game, So I enjoyed it. Old friend of mine asked me to come in and help them. They were in a tight with the 8-man football. I enjoyed my time with it. I really did.
Coach, just a question that's been kind of circulating, has nothing to do with really getting ready for Wetumpka, other than me pridefully asking the question. I made a tweet the other day that, a Nick Saban press conference, he's got a bunch of funny things that he says, and, you can just read his face. So he made a little 2-second comment of saying, huh? What? Like that. So I clipped that. And, a couple years ago, I guess 2 years ago, I came out, did a little preview, and, we covered East Memorial, put them on 8-man football.
Right.
And, for, a TV station, a broadcast crew to go out, we got 63 high schools we cover, and that's not including 8-man.
Right.
Right. So the question that's been kind of posed, and I've taken some Twitter heat a little bit over it because I clipped that Nick Saban clip, and I put it up with when viewers ask about coverage of 8-man football. Because you're the only coach I've ever known that has covered that and coached it to actually try to get coverage of their team. If you play 8-man football, couldn't you just take 3 off your bench and play 11?
Well, we could if we had 3. That's the problem we have. That's the reason it is regulated. Now, some of the bigger schools that we played, for example, Russell Christian out of Mississippi, they dressed 42 people in 8-man football.
42? Should be illegal.
Well, I thought so too, I lost the championship to them. So, that's my vote. Just take that away from them. I had too many people.
Oh, Coach, man. 8-man football, legendary coach. I mean, I just throw this out there before we welcome in Coach Caleb Rawls, kind of, break down the Enterprise Week. Look on this week, talk a couple incredible players from the Enterprise Week as well. A lot of big stats. When you're former players, Coach, I mean, he can get out here and do it. And he's got some guys that are balling. Moving forward for you, what's to come for the legendary Sam Peak?
Yeah. Well, this young man, Caleb Rawls, he does it the right way. He's got a staff that does it the right way. And the kids respond to that. I was just talking to Coach James Strickland just a few minutes ago, about the response by the athletes and what they've done and how they responded to this coaching staff. I think it's outstanding. Prattville's got his better days ahead of us. We're going to be very, very proud very soon.
Coach Sam Peak, man, congrats in retirement. If you stay retired this time or if you don't pick up another coaching gig.
I'm retired. I like to travel now. I've been to China, Cuba, and other few places, so.
Coach, if you don't stay retired and if we don't start actually hanging out more, I'm going to have to call Miss Rita and just get her on top of you. I don't know. I'm going to have to say something and say, look, you need to devote more time for Coach and myself to actually go hang out.
That's the deal. That's the deal. Thank you.
Let's do it. Coach Sam Peak,
my
man, thanks for joining me. Guys, we're going to take an early break on this show. Welcome back in, Coach Caleb Rawls. Break down a lot of things from last week, but as you always say, it's a new week, it's a new game, and it is a big week here in Prattville. It's Lions versus Wetumpka, big rival game. We'll break down everything you need to know leading up to tomorrow night. Stay with us. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Coach Caleb Rawls Show.
Chip Powell here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet with sales manager Kirk Mims, where LP also stands for low prices. Kirk, talk about your deals here.
Man, it's a great time here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. You know what? Football is here, but football also means fall savings at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. We got great prices. We got a great inventory. We got 0% financing on multiple models. There's never been a bigger time to shop. We have a great selection of used cars. You can go to LarryPuckettChevrolet.com.
Larry Puckett Chevrolet right here in Prattville, Alabama.
Think local. Think of all the skill and talent found right here in our community. Hands that build, hands that feed, teach, protect, and hands that heal. Guardian Credit Union reaches out to people just like you. Handling loans for new cars, opening doors to new homes, saying yes to fun and adventure. When you need a strong, steady financial hand, think local. Think Guardian.
Buffalo Rock is well known for Pepsi and other great soft drink brands. Did you know that Buffalo Rock is one of the River Region's largest full-service caterers? And have you heard about Micro Market? Buffalo Rock is leading the region with innovation to replace conventional vending at many of the larger industrial plants. Plant management loves it, and so do the employees. To find out more about Buffalo Rock Catering and the Micro Market, call Mike Barnett at 334-394-4452. The Buffalo Rock family is proud to support area schools. BuffaloRock.com.
It's time for a trip to Prattville Outdoors at 118 Highway 82 West in Prattville. Prattville Outdoors is locally owned, family operated. The Johnson Brothers and Viv. Prattville Outdoors with a great selection of Gravely zero-turn mowers. These are top zero-turn mowers, residential or commercial. Buy now with no money down, 0% financing for up to 48 months, and they got all the sales and service to back up everything they do there at Prattville Outdoors. So when you're ready to buy a brand new lawnmower, you need to go to the people that know their stuff. Go to PrattvilleOutdoors.com or follow on Facebook.
Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish. Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish.
I only use U.S. farm-raised catfish.
We've been selling U.S. farm-raised catfish since 1978.
They do have a choice for a good, wholesome, safe fish. We know it's a good product.
Ask for U.S. farm-raised catfish, only the finest, freshest, tastiest. You can taste the difference.
From our farm to your table, your family deserves the best. U.S. farm-raised catfish.
Chip Powell here with Lewis Mills, service manager of Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers. Lewis, talk to us about your Express Oil Change.
Well, our Express Oil Change, we have a full-line mechanical shop. We do 10-minute oil changes, and we are a full-fledged tire shop. We're a direct dealer with Michelin, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, and Yokohama.
When you need service, your oil change and tires, come here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Express Oil Change and Tires Engineer.
Caleb Ross Show, and Coach, man, got you in. You were on time, but look, when you have a legend like Sam Peak around Taggart County, you got to bring him in. You got to sit him down. You haven't seen him the first couple weeks. He's trying to get involved. Retirement life's treating him well, and maybe something that we're all trying to look towards. Get to peak status. Get to that level. Enjoy the grandkids. Enjoy retirement.
I think I heard he say he traveled to China.
That's
incredible.
Him and Miss Rita get out
see the world
and do a bunch of cool stuff. Look, man, incredible week last week. You had Enterprise, something we're kind of breaking down about the wing tee, old school type of offense. Right. And, if you look on the score sheet, it was 28-7 real late, against teams that hold the ball for that long. Just sitting back, looking at scores, watching the game. Final score 28-14. Offense did their job. He did really good on the ground. Something that you're kind of telling us last week as a game plan. I mean, this is a football team that's got a lot of weapons, but you really wanted to establish your presence on the ground. I think y'all did that with Taggart.
We did. He had a phenomenal night, man. I think he rushed for 167 on 11 carries. I mean, that's like a 15-something yard average. I know we're going to, we'll talk about him a little bit later too, but going back to that Enterprise game, I know sometimes the outside people or the fans, sometimes they look at scores. Man, I'm glad we won a Region 2 ball game that was a dogfight. Man, that's a tough place to play. They got a beautiful setup. Really, first time I've ever been there, it's gorgeous, man. But the offense they run, you're going into a hostile region opponent environment. Man, hey, I'm glad we'd have won 2-0 on a safety. I was taking it, man. Because we didn't play bad. We didn't. We really didn't. We knew kind of going in we were going to be limited with offensive possessions, and you can't afford to make a mistake. And I thought if there's one negative that we've got to get better cleaning up moving forward is we had too many pre-snap penalties. All right, I think we had 4 or 5 of those. And there was conversion issues. That first drive, we're moving the football and we drop a third down right in our hands. So, and knowing that you may not get the ball back, but 2 or 3 more times that half, every drive's critical. But we didn't play bad. We moved the football. I thought we made some really good stops, man, trying to get adjusted to that stuff they do offensively is really hard. And they grind the clock, ton of misdirection, and they had a few wrinkles for us that it took us about a series or 2 to get adjusted to. But we made some great adjustments on defense. That's a tough place, man. I'll tell you this, I'm glad to come out of there with a win. Like I said, I know people look at scores and they look at this team beat this team, but man, I could almost go in every scenario and say, well, if this team beat this team by 30 and we only beat them by 6, well, they should beat us. Or, you just can't do that. That's just not realistic.
Coach Caleb Ross Show. You listen to him, Dixie 100.1. Watch us on Prattville Live. Also, you can pick up the feed on DixieCountry.net. Even ask Alexa to play Dixie Country. So many ways, 5:30 to 6:30 every Thursday night this football season. And Coach Caleb Ross right here. And, Coach, I mean, one thing that you're kind of throwing out there is defensive front, defensive pressure, jumping up, making the tackle, making the plays. It's one thing, look, I'm pretty analytical. I'm a guy that looks at stats. Of course, I brought the score up. Kind of have to 28-14, whatever. I mean, if you won 2-0 at the end of the day, it still clips over as a region win, moves you up in the standings. Man, I mean, the middle part of your linebacking core is making like 15, 20 tackles every Friday night.
It is led by Mason Taylor, man. That guy's you're talking about and I know Taggart had a phenomenal night and definitely deserved it, man. If another guy that had an opportunity would have been Mason Taylor. I think he ended up having 14 tackles. He is so steady, man, and he's the leader on that defense. Without him, man, we would be in trouble, man. That's one that he makes it go. And here's to be fair. I think Enterprise had 180 yards rushing.
Right.
And that's the lowest total yards rushing they had all season by anybody. So it's like if you want to, and that's a good night for them. But even Auburn, who they got beat pretty good by, they had more than 180 yards rushing. So, man, look, when you look at that, we played pretty well, and considering they didn't score a touchdown, only had 7 points on the board till late in the fourth quarter. Really about 2 to 3 minutes left to go in the game. We'll take it. But you said we had a lot of guys play well, man, up front. Broderius Lewis had a great night. He really played well. Like I said, man, Mason played well. Deshaun Daniels had a really good night. And then, man, I thought our safeties, man, Jameer Cromlin and Wade White really come up and fit the run well. We needed them to, and they had good nights. I could list a lot of guys, but, man, it's like I said, that stuff's tough. We found a way to get through it. I'm glad we don't have to play them again anymore.
Yeah, and getting the W, moving past Enterprise. I'm sure we'll touch on it maybe once or twice, talk some offensive looks. But, man, this was a leg that we talked about about 5 weeks ago, really, in the first show, is that, looking at the schedule, I mean, it's pretty daunting the first half. But the second half, if you can get pass a good portion of it, really sets up nicely to really try to get those region wins. I mean, you start off the season at Foley, you come in, you host Stanhope, but then you got an open week, Some people say unusual, some other schools do it, but you had a week 3, right?
That's right.
And then you move on 3 straight road games. Coach, man, you got Central Phoenix City. That was a hard-fought ball game. And then last week at Enterprise, you finish up that 3-leg trip of, just a nasty 3 games on the road.
It is.
You got Wetumpka this week.
That's it. And I'll be honest with you, when I looked into it, it wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, I was like, well, we'll just go deal with it. And I'll be honest, until now, I'm thinking, man, I'm ready to get back home and play a home game. And even playing in Wetumpka, where we don't have to get on a charter bus, we don't have to leave school early at 12:30, 1 o'clock. Man, it almost feels like you're playing at home. And I know we're not. We're playing in a real tough environment. Man, that's a great setup for them over there. So we're going into another hostile environment. But the fact that we don't have to just change our whole daily routine is really almost a win for us, man. Just to be close, to be within 20 miles or 30 miles of our high school, man, is huge. So it's definitely a big thing for us. We're excited about at least getting back to this area. Then obviously what you said, man, we've got some really tough opponents coming up, but we get a lot of those at home coming, through that down stretch. You're talking about that back stretch. So, yeah, man, after looking back now, I'm glad it's over with because it's been, like I said, man, it's 3 different trips where we had to get on a charter bus and really change our whole day just to make it happen.
Yeah, Coach, looking at the Class 7A Region 2 standings, I mean, it's a pretty tight race. I mean, we're sitting at pushing about mid-part of the season, I guess this week you could say. Lee Montgomery 5-0 overall, 3-0 in Region 2. Auburn 3-2, 2-1 in Region play. Central Phoenix City 4-1, 2-0. Prattville Lions 3-1. You're at 500, 1-1. Big confidence boost. If you can go out and beat a Wetumpka team, it's Class 6A, and a team the past 2 years has been really, really difficult.
That's right.
One game away from making it back to the state finals last year, the season before. Lost a tough one out to Pinson Valley. But, gaining confidence-wise, when you're looking at the region standings, Coach, if you drop it, it's not going to matter on the back end because it's still a Class 6A game. But bragging rights, I mean, this is something fans talk about, and, it means a lot to this community to go up to Wetumpka and whip those guys.
Oh, that's right, man.
Yeah.
It's important for a lot of reasons. First of all, it's competition. This is what you do, man. If you're not trying to win it, then what are we doing here? But the other thing, like you said, probably the main thing is community pride. I mean, yeah, it doesn't mean anything for region standings, but it means everything to our communities, man.
Mm-hmm.
Man, kudos to Coach Perry and their staff. He's done an outstanding job of building a great program. And like you said, man, they played for a state championship 2 years ago, one game away last year, and man, they had a heck of a run, man. And they've got a really good team this year. And I don't think Prattville's beat them in 3 or 4 years. So here we go, man. This is a big game for our community. And the other thing too is, man, you're right. We have a stretch where we got some tough region games, and you want to be playing your best football going into that. So we definitely don't want to go, play poor or have a bad night, then expect to go rally and have good nights after that, man. Sometimes it just don't work that way.
Coach, a quarterback battle that a lot of people really saying. Kyle Kramer, a more pocket passer type of guy for you, but, still can get out and do a lot of things with his legs. Kyle Kramer versus Taekwon Rawls, the senior this season. Last year, put in a difficult spot, was a 2 or 3 star corner, had to come in and play quarterback. J.D. Martin, who was their quarterback, had some big offers last year. Flash forward, Taekwon, I mean, a guy that is very dangerous in that read look. What's been the message to the guy, especially on the front, to the secondary of your defense, to try to keep an eye on that guy?
Well, I mean, here's the deal, man. That guy's probably the best player on our schedule. I mean, really is. He is a dynamic football player. He's not only is he's a powerful guy, he's a big guy. He's explosive and he's fast. I mean, some guys are really explosive, but the open field speed's decent, or they're super fast, but they got to get in open field to show that speed. Man, he gets there in a quick hurry. He runs through arm tackles, and he's got a cannon for an arm. I mean, it's really not fair. I mean, come on, man. You can't have it all, but and he makes them go too, man. And don't get me wrong now. He is their best player, but they've got some really good players around him. And we said it this morning, man. They're running backs. They run angry. I mean, they're fast and they're explosive, man. And they got some really good skilled receivers. They do a good job offensively too, man. They spread you out and try to get numbers on you, which is really smart on their part. Man, to be honest, we got to maintain our gaps, and we've got to make tackles. We can't allow the 4 to 5 yard gain to be a 20-yard gain. Really, man, Wetumpka really hurts people with that stuff, man. The routine play that, like you said, man, hey, we're going to stop them here for 4 or 5 and let them snap it again. he goes 60, and we can't allow that to happen. We got to limit that. Got to be smart with our fits, man, on the second level, third level stuff. So we got our hands cut out for us, man. They're very explosive. They've scored a lot of points. We know, and here's the deal, man. You're not going to shut these guys out, but we got to slow them down. We really do.
Coach, big news. If this highlights, even more how big of a game this is for the Tri-County, Alabama News Network lace up pregame, man. The crew, we're heading out tomorrow night over at Wetumpka. Going to be highline talking with both you and Coach Perry. A little pregame, 5:30,
right.
6 o'clock action. And, sadly enough, I did it last week. It's Madison Jagger's turn this week, so we'll definitely be out there. Coach, for Madison, you're going to have to keep a conversation going 2.5 minutes. I don't think that's going to be difficult to do, especially about how big this game is. But, man, we are pumped up to come out from the Alabama News Network.
Yeah, she reached out to me earlier. I said, yeah, absolutely. And matter of fact, I think we talked. I got to text her back. Tell her, yeah, we're good for, I think, 5:50 or 5:55.
She's probably freaking out if you haven't texted her back yet.
All right. I'll make sure to take care of that. But, yeah, we're always good with that stuff. So. But you're right, it's a big game. It's probably I don't know, man. I don't know who else is playing tomorrow night, but it's probably the biggest game in the region as far as matchups. And you're right, it is a good battle, man. You got their really good quarterback, but you know what, man? I'm really proud of ours too, and he's having a heck of a season. And two different styles. It ought to be. It's one of those games, man. I wish I could go buy a ticket because it ought to be a heck of a game, man, to watch as a fan.
Coach, for someone like me that gets to shoot the game, I'm looking forward to shooting some highlights. So, again, lace up pregame. Don't miss it, 5:30 and 6 o'clock. ABC 32 at 5:30, 6 o'clock on CBS 8. Catch an interview with Coach Caleb Rawls. Highlight, kind of get inside your mind right before we get to kickoff for the big game. Prattville Wetumpka, that's what we're talking about tonight. Guys, man, we still got a lot in store for you. Got the Buffalo Rock Player of the Week against Enterprise. We'll note on that. Plus, break down some more game plan and get you ready for the big game against Wetumpka. Stay with us. You're listening to the Coach Caleb Ross Show.
Chip Powell here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet with sales manager Kirk Mims, where LP also stands for low prices. Kirk, talk about your deals here.
Man, it's a great time here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. You know what? Football is here, but football also means fall savings at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. We got great prices. We got a great inventory. We got 0% financing on multiple models. There's never been a bigger time to shop. We have a great selection of used cars. You can go to LarryPuckettChevrolet.com.
Larry Puckett Chevrolet right here in Prattville, Alabama.
Think local. Think of all the skill and talent found right here in our community. Hands that build, hands that feed, teach, protect, and hands that heal. Guardian Credit Union reaches out to people just like you. Handling loans for new cars, opening doors to new homes, saying yes to fun and adventure. When you need a strong, steady financial hand, think local. Think Guardian.
Buffalo Rock is well known for Pepsi and other great soft drink brands. Did you know that Buffalo Rock is one of the River Region's largest full-service caterers? And have you heard about Micro Market? Buffalo Rock is leading the region with innovation to replace conventional vending at many of the larger industrial plants. Plant management loves it, and so do the employees. To find out more about Buffalo Rock Catering and the Micro Market, call Mike Barnett at 334-394-4452. The Buffalo Rock family is proud to support area schools. BuffaloRock.com.
It's time for a trip to Prattville Outdoors at 118 Highway 82 West in Prattville. Prattville Outdoors is locally owned, family operated. The Johnson Brothers and Viv. Prattville Outdoors with a great selection of Gravely zero-turn mowers. These are top zero-turn mowers, residential or commercial. Buy now with no money down, 0% financing for up to 48 months, and they got all the sales and service to back up everything they do there at Prattville Outdoors. So when you're ready to buy a brand new lawnmower, you need to go to the people that know their stuff. Go to PrattvilleOutdoors.com or follow on Facebook.
Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish. Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish.
I only use U.S. farm-raised catfish.
We've been selling U.S. farm-raised catfish since 1978.
They do have a choice for a good, wholesome, safe fish. We know it's a good product.
Ask for U.S. farm-raised catfish, only the finest, freshest, tastiest. You can taste the difference.
From our farm to your table, your family deserves the best. U.S. farm-raised catfish.
Chip Powell here with Lewis Mills, service manager of Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers. Lewis, talk to us about your Express Oil Change.
Well, our Express Oil Change, we have full line mechanical shop. We do 10-minute oil changes, and we are a full-fledged tire shop. We're a direct dealer with Michelin, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, and Yokohama.
When you need service, your oil change and tires, come here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet Express Oil Change and Tires Engineer.
Right along with the show. It's Wetumpka week. We pretty much wrapped up a lot of stuff that happened the week prior at Enterprise, a big region win, Region 2 in Class 7A, 28-14 over Enterprise. And going on right behind us is a little 7th grade action, Coach, some future stars. You know, something we keep telling people, get out of here because we got another game, right, that's coming up after this. 7th grade team up 28-0, about to start the second half over Benjamin Russell.
Yeah, this 7th grade team, man, they're really talented. I think they're undefeated on the year. Having a big night tonight. Then our 8th grade group, man, they're really playing hard. Their group is getting better and better every week, man. And so I'm proud of that group, man. The future for Prattville football is really good. Really talented 9th grade group we do there. So, and our JV's undefeated, man. Yeah, the program's healthy, and that's what I'm proud of, man. Looking forward to the future.
Coach, something that I'm going to throw out there, and I'm sure you're going to shield up against, but, you know, I'm looking at numbers here, so I got to throw it out there because people noticing, especially through the first 2 weeks, how many points you put on the board, you know, and the last two. Some numbers, okay, through 4 games, offense putting up 129 points. Your defense has only given up 34 points, man, and you know, that's something that – you really jumped on big, especially over the summer, how aggressive. Because, you know, I mean, coming in, having Kramer and all those guys, I had a feeling that you felt like it wasn't going to be as difficult to score points because you had a quarterback that could really get it out. You got Albert Taggart, a guy that we're going to talk to in just a few minutes, Buffalo Rock Player of the Week against Enterprise. His incredible $167 game, two touchdowns. But, man, you know, it's a 95-point difference when you look at the numbers analytically. I know it's something that y'all don't really go over 100%, but, man, just looking at the numbers through 4 games, putting up that many points, Coach, I mean, it's got to feel good to try to get the W's.
It does, and here's the thing. We've played well. You know, I mean, I mean this, and don't get me wrong, we all have been guilty of getting caught up in stats, and even as a coach, sometimes you look, man, we need to have a big night, but I just want to know, do we execute? Do we play well? And I've really been proud of that, man. Even against a really tough and fast Central Phoenix City defense, man, we had over 300 yards of offense. And, man, not many people do that against Phoenix City. So I've been probably most proud that we've executed well, man. And we've had some individual performances. And you're right, we've always been able to move the football and do some stuff. Some years, obviously, when you got more talented players, you're going to be able to do a little bit more. That's just with any league. I don't care if that's a little league to NFL. You got more talented players, you're going to score more points.
Yeah.
But and you're right, man. And we've got you know, if I'm trying to defend us, man, we got some real matchup problems. You got a good quarterback that can get the ball out, and you're talking about 3, 4, 5 different weapons at receiver and running back that can really hurt you. And I think probably of all this, I'm gonna mean this, because everybody sees the receivers and the running backs, and they see the stuff that Kyle's doing, and that is deservingly, man, they should get that credit too. But I'm super proud of our offensive line, man. Probably the group to me that's really overachieved, man. Because it ain't like we're sitting up there and we got 6'4", 270, 280 guys now. You got a left tackle that's probably about 215 pounds. You've got a right guard that's about 5'8", 5'9". I may be giving him an inch, you know what I mean? And he's about 215 pounds. And, man, we're moving the football against 7A competition. So, man, I'm extremely proud of what we've been able to accomplish this year. I can't say more. I mean, here's the deal, though, man. You're only as good as your last game, and we've got to keep that up. So.
There ain't no doubt about that. And, you know, Coach, you know, something you're saying, if you beat Enterprise, well, let's just be honest here. If you beat every team 2-0, you take it, wouldn't you?
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, there ain't no doubt, man. The name's to win the game. And sometimes playing, you can have a really good night offensively, and the points don't look good, either for whatever reason. And some nights, you know, vice versa. You can score a lot of points and think, man, you had a great night offensive. Like, no, we had penalties and big plays or sloppy play. You know, just sometimes it just happens that way. And so far, man, we've played pretty good football. If I have one, like I said, we've got to eliminate some of the pre-snap penalty stuff. That's really kind of plagued us these last 2 weeks. But besides that, man, I've been really, really, really proud of our guys.
Guys, it's Wetumpka week, a giant rival game. Of course, Lace-Up pregame will be there tomorrow night to get you ready for that. Watch it on Alabama News Network, ABC 32, and CBSA. Coach, is this the week that, it's a Class 6A team. You're playing Taekwon Rawls. We've already broken him down a little bit offensively. Is this the week that you really gain some extra things you're trying to do to try to contain a quarterback? Because the following week you come right back here to Stanley-Jensen, and you got Lee Montgomery, who's currently undefeated.
Yeah, I mean, we're at that point, and like I said, man, we really don't. I mean, obviously we're going to have a game plan for Wetumpka, but I don't know if putting anything really new or fancy is really. I mean, you just got to go play ball. I mean, we've got stuff built into our defense and offense to handle most situations. Last week is so unique because you saw such a unique offense, and that was just a different deal, and it's always going to be a different deal. And we learned a lot. We learned a lot preparing for them, and even in the future what we need to do to help ourselves in that game. The week before you play Phoenix City, that's a different challenge because they got the speed, man, that's just hard to replicate. And now this week you got a unique challenge because you've got a quarterback and some weapons around him that are just, man, really dynamic. So I think, to me, if you want consistency on defense, you can't start grab bagging and start putting in a bunch of a new scheme, a new look. Yeah, we're going to have some wrinkles and we're going to have a plan, and you got to go execute that plan. But, man, trying to jump from a 3-man to a 4-man, or, man, all of a sudden we'll become a press man team, that stuff sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's a recipe for disaster. I mean, I just been doing this for a long time, man. You can't do that stuff, man. That stuff looks good. We're going to put in we got this secret defense we're going to put in. They never going to know Friday night until the second series he's going 70 down the sideline. That secret defense isn't working. But anyway, I mean, because here's the thing, man. Linebackers and secondary play, it's all about fits. So if I go from a 3-man to a 4-man, you change up their angles. You change up their fits. Playing defense is like a puzzle. I mean, a lot of people think it's just big hits and running to the ball. Man, it's a puzzle. You're fitting the offensive scheme. So you guys, if my DN takes on this block and C gap, that linebacker's expecting him to maintain that gap. That way he can go field B to make the play, or field B to take on a lead blocker, where my backside linebacker can scrape over the top and make that play. So it's like putting a puzzle together when you're playing defense. You're building a fence out there is what you're doing.
Just another day in 7A. There ain't no doubt about that. Of course, it's Wetumpka week. Coach Caleb Ross Show. Stay with us. We'll take a quick 10-second break for station identification. All right, welcome back in, Coach. It's one word that comes to mind is containment, trying to contain Taekwon Rawls, trying to get him uncomfortable. Containment, is that I'm not saying that that's the word that's kind of been the push, but you just touched on at this point in the season you're trying to get ready for different styles of offense. That's right. The incredibly old school look from last week against Enterprise. He flip-flopped, and it's completely 2019 with Wetumpka.
That's it. There's no doubt. And that's the thing, like you said. And here's the thing. I know our Coach Shook and our defensive staff, I mean, they do a really good job. I mean, any defense, hopefully most good defensive coordinators, what does the opposing team do well? Let's try to stop that. Who are their key players? Let's try to eliminate those. And contain's probably a good word. Now, here's the thing, but here's the deal with a guy like Rawls. You can't sit back and let him come to you because he's going to run past you, or he's going to run. You got to take the air out of the play, all right? But also, too, it's not a deal where you can't just go dial it up and start blitzing left and right, because then you're going to get trapped, you're going to get kicked, you're going to get out of gaps. And what you don't want is now you've blitzed 6 or 7, and let's just go pure numbers now. Let's say you dial up and blitz 7, and neither one of those guys make that tackle. Well, now you got 4 that's trying to make a tackle in the second level, and they got a host of blockers. So if that's the elementary way of looking at it. Man, I guess the 7A level of it is you dial it up and blitz. Well, now, man, you better hope your safeties will fit it right and fit it with the right angle. And you look back last year, that game 17-14. We're up at halftime, and they ran 4 plays in the second half, and the score is 42-17. And it's really splitting hairs of how they got there. One of those touchdowns we're looking at this week, just because you want to refer back to maybe they may try some of the same stuff.
Right.
Man, it's Rawls, man, he hits a quarterback run play, and our safety is literally a half a step late on fitting the run. And that half a step was the difference in a 4-yard gain or a 65-yard touchdown run. And that's the difference. The margin of error with guys like Rawls is so slim. You've got to be – I ain't saying you got to be perfect, but you got to be but you've got to be near perfect to go make those plays, man. And that's how dangerous he is. That's how good of a player he is.
Kind of cliche, I guess, to say, but, I mean, you know, when you're playing a quarterback like that, and, you know, Rawls is going to get you ready for Lee Montgomery and the rest of that brutal 7A schedule you got. Is this really essentially assignment football?
It is, man, absolutely. You better have a plan for him. And the thing is, it's just not him now. They've got really good skill guys, really good running backs. So if you go all out and try to go, man, put every defensive player in your assignment stuff on him, they're going to hurt you other ways. And their O-line's physical. I mean, they've got it figured out, man. They do a really good job. There's a reason why they're scoring. I bet they are averaging 40 points a game. And man, so that's the key. And here's the thing too, man. Here's the other side of this. We got to do our part on offense. So that means, yeah, we're not going to go ball control completely, but we can't just start. If they're that talented, the more snaps they get, eventually he's going to make a play. So we've got to control. We got to run the football, and we got to take our shots. I mean, we're not going to play it conservative. That's just not who we are. But we can't just go start slinging it around left and right. And both sides have about 90 plays apiece. I bet the fans would love that. I mean, that would be entertainment. But as a football coach,
I mean,
you're
that's not
banging
part
your
of the
head
game
on the fence
plan
over there. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not part of the game plan on Monday. Is this, you know, Coach, you bring up a good other point, is that when you get in positions, third and short, third and long, what's the, you know, differential in the type of play call? Because you're not going to play conservative. You're going to stay aggressive, it sounds like, especially against a guy like that. I mean, is it a situation – is it situational for how much pressure you want to put on him, or is it just constant 3rd and 2, or is it 3rd and 15? You're going to be putting pressure on him.
No, it's all situational. And to me, trying to throw off the timing, all right? And same thing, you want to be unpredictable. That means there's times when you're going to play it straight up and play base. There's other times when you might bring some pressure, man. That's just the reality of it. Same thing on offense, man. You don't ever want to be predictable with your play calling. There's times when it's 3rd and 1, hey, let's go take a shot right here. Because they're going to think we're going to run, let's play action, let's see if we can get it protected, and let's throw the ball down the field. And there's other times when it's 3rd and 12, sometimes my favorite play call is a trap play. Because they're thinking pass rush, they're getting up the field, and we can get them caught that way and hit the seam there. So, man, it's really, and offensively, you just want to keep the opposing team off balance. That way they can't, because they get a chance to cue in on you. Man, these guys are too good these days, man. They'll play ball, and they'll beat you.
You know, it's a question I ask you every single week, and I'm going to come right back to it. What has surprised you starting on Monday about your team? You know, it can be anything, but, you know, especially coming off a win 2 weeks ago, lost a tough one in Central Phoenix City, one of the top teams in the entire state, if not on paper, defending champs, looking at them, but you get back in the win column. What has surprised you, Coach?
I tell you this, man, our kids this is one of the best weeks we've had, and this has been brutal heat. I mean, it really has. Maybe I'm not going to give our kids an excuse, but you're talking about 96, 97,
I thought 2 weeks
98.
ago we're going to kind of start going down this fall approach.
And it ain't it's like there's no break in sight, but it's been brutally hot. And, man, I tell you this, our kids are finally – it's been rough getting here, but we're in shape. We're in shape. We really are, man, because we push our kids. We don't change what we do. Now, we're smart about it. We have water breaks built in, and – you know, we don't, you know, the old days are over. You know, I mean, the Bear Bryant days are over. You know, I mean, you just, got to make them tough and all that stuff. That's not realistic. And it probably wasn't that realistic back then. But, you know, I mean, so those days are kind of gone. But our kids, man, they were really, we had a good week, man. They were dialed in, and, man, that's all you can ask for, man. And I guess I'm still the old preparation guy, man. You're gonna play how you practice. And our guys they've had a good week of preparation and practice.
Yeah, Coach, starting your week off, still getting up around 4:15, 4:20.
We are, man. That don't change. That don't change. That's who we are every day. We'll always probably be that way. Like I said, we talked about the reasons last week. Just get so much more done. I get some devotional time and some time to myself. And, you know, the job that we have and a 2- and a 4-year-old, ain't a whole lot of time to myself. So
yeah, I mean, that's a full-time #1 job, if you're looking at it. So. Big week, though, Coach. Wetumpka week course. We'll break it down a bit more. Albert Taggart, big Buffalo player of the week from his performance. $167, 2 touchdowns against Enterprise. We'll break that down coming up. But tons more left in the show. You don't want to go anywhere afterwards either. The Coach Nick Saban show. You big Alabama fan? Well, it's going to come up right up on the back end of the Coach Caleb Ross show. Still tons more in store. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Chip Powell here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet with sales manager Kirk Mims, where LP also stands for low prices. Kirk, talk about your deals here.
Man, it's a great time here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. You know what? Football is here, but football also means fall savings at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. We got great prices. We got a great inventory. We got 0% financing on multiple models. There's never been a bigger time to shop. We have a great selection of used cars. You can go to LarryPuckettChevrolet.com.
Larry Puckett Chevrolet right here in Prattville, Alabama.
Think local. Think of all the skill and talent found right here in our community. Hands that build, hands that feed, teach, protect, and hands that heal. Guardian Credit Union reaches out to people just like you. Handling loans for new cars, opening doors to new homes, saying yes to fun and adventure. When you need a strong, steady financial hand, think local. Think Guardian.
Buffalo Rock is well known for Pepsi and other great soft drink brands. Did you know that Buffalo Rock is one of the River Region's largest full-service caterers? And have you heard about Micro Market? Buffalo Rock is leading the region with innovation to replace conventional vending at many of the larger industrial plants. Plant management loves it, and so do the employees. To find out more about Buffalo Rock Catering and the Micro Market, call Mike Barnett at 334-394-4452. The Buffalo Rock family is proud to support area schools. BuffaloRock.com.
It's time for a trip to Prattville Outdoors at 118 Highway 82 West in Prattville. Prattville Outdoors is locally owned, family operated. The Johnson brothers and Viv. Prattville Outdoors with a great selection of Gravely zero-turn mowers. These are top zero-turn mowers, residential or commercial. Buy now with no money down, 0% financing for up to 48 months, and they got all the sales and service to back up everything they do there at Prattville Outdoors. So when you're ready to buy a brand new lawnmower, you need to go to the people that know their stuff. Go to PrattvilleOutdoors.com or follow on Facebook.
Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish. Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish.
I only use U.S. farm-raised catfish.
We've been selling U.S. farm-raised catfish since 1978.
They do have a choice for a good, wholesome, safe fish. We know it's a good product.
Ask for U.S. farm-raised catfish, only the finest, freshest, tastiest. You can taste the difference.
From our farm to your table, your family deserves the best. U.S. farm-raised catfish.
Chip Powell here with Lewis Mills, service manager of Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers. Lewis, talk to us about your Express Oil Change.
Well, our Express Oil Change, we have a full-line mechanical shop. We do 10-minute oil changes, and we are a full-fledged tire shop. We're a direct dealer with Michelin, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, and Yokohama.
When you need service, your oil change and tires, come here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Express Oil Change and Tires Engineer.
At the camera or both.
Welcome back in, Coach Caleb Ross Show. Joining me now, look, Coach has stepped away a little bit and bringing in the superstar, the guy that just absolutely pawed out this past week against Enterprise. That's my man Albert Taggart, tailback. And, folks, I know you're keying in here on Prattville Live looking at his size. Yes, he's only a 10th grader coming in. My man, big week, $167 on the ground against a big 7A Region 2 team, 2 touchdowns. How much fun did you have just running up those stats?
I felt real comfortable running the ball. It just felt like practice. Coach Ross puts us in a bunch of pressure positions in practice. We do a lot of things during team and where everything's fast-paced, so it just feels like the game. And I'm coached very well, and everything just flows.
You're just kind of flowing with it. You know, that 167 yards, you know, I'm looking and breaking it down here, and our incredible producer, Stacey Mills, puts out great stats, and he put these out there, but 15.2 yards per carry. You only carried the rock 11 times, man. I mean, was it towards the end of the game, you're like, Coach, I've only got 11 times, you know, about 12, 13, 14, 15 maybe. But I tell you what, if you look at the stat sheet, and, you know, this is the reason why you're coming and getting this award, you made the most of every single carry you had.
Yes, sir. I just try to get as many yards as I can. Get four. My goal is 4 yards a carry. But then anything else that comes after that, just run the ball. Do what I'm taught.
Well, let's do this. A Buffalo Rock Player of the Week. I'm going to present this to you, of course. Pepsi Buffalo Rock, man. Albert Taggart, 11 carries, $167, 2 touchdowns on the road. You know, it's not like it's a home game. You did it on the road, Albert, and man, congrats to that. Also, one thing that we want to throw your way, the great people at Sports Clips in Prattville, and you know, I'm looking at the dew. It's pretty fresh, but you know, this is for the next cut. A little MVP treatment. You get the full works, my man. You get it from top to bottom. Massage, hot towel. One of my favorites. Get the hot towel when you get in there. But you get the massage, the haircut. Get any style you want. You know, maybe switch it up for junior year if you wanted to save it, maybe. But man, you know, congrats on the big game. You know, just looking at the tunnel vision, you know, watching tape on you, it seems like you got the tunnel vision. You hit the corner, or if you're hitting up the middle and you see that safety, you're not looking at him, you're looking at the end zone.
Yes, sir. Head straight to the end zone, run the opposite direction. But if I got to, I will lower my shoulder.
All right, man. Now, looking at the summer, you know, kind of working, you know, ninth grader last year, you know, that's something that people keep forgetting when they look on the stat sheet and they watch the tape on you. You're just in 10th grade. First, you know, full varsity season, getting the starts, you know, getting the rock, you get 11 carries. Moving forward, man, was this something that you saw in the summertime that, you know, something that was achievable that you could get if you went out there and worked?
Yes, sir. I know I got talents, but I just worked very hard during the summer, and I knew my work was going to eventually have to pay off at some time.
All right, Albert, now, you know, normally we do this and we kind of give a little shout out. Are you a single man, or are you just focusing on football right now? You know, 10th grade, focus on studies, football?
I'm just focused on my studies and football right now.
Albert Taggart, tailback, Prattville Lions. Hey, going to be a lot of highlights to look forward to you in the future. Of course, a big weekend with Wetumpka. Kind of what's the guys talking about in the locker room, you know? I mean, what's the excitement level? I mean, it just speaks for itself when you say Wetumpka.
We're coming into it like any other game, focused. We're not really into the hype, but after the game, depending on how it goes, if we win, we will get a little turn up.
It's a little turn up celebration, and man, you know, you got to enjoy victories like that. And you know, it's one thing that I talk with Coach Rawls, man, a ton on this show and on this program, getting off the field too. And you know, when I look at that schedule, you had 3 straight road games, you know, leading in, first 2 games, first on the road, then you have a home game, a bye week, and then you hit it 3 straight weeks. But, I mean, y'all have carried yourself very, very well. You've gone out there, gotten some W's. This is the last leg of the journey, but it's a road game, but it's not a road game. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, it's over at Wetumpka. They got nice facilities. How much would it mean to this community, to this team, to the guys that look up to you, to beat those Indians?
It would mean a lot to this community for us to beat the Indians, especially the way it turned out last year, and for us to get a little bit of our pride back and get a dub, especially on their turf this time.
Well, you heard it from himself. Sophomore tailback Albert Taggart. Going to welcome back Coach Caleb Ross in just a minute. But, man, you know, congrats. You got the sports clip. You got the cool plaque. And hopefully this is something we see, you know, in the future. Get you back on this show. You know, get you some lace-up high school football highlights over on Alabama News Network. Again, lace-up pregame this week. Man, you know, the crew, we're going to be out at Wetumpka. It's Prattville at Wetumpka. We'll meet with both head coaches. 5:30, ABC 32, 6 o'clock on CBS 8. And, of course, you can catch all those highlights at 10 o'clock during Lace-Up on Alabama News Network. If you want some college coverage, too, we got that. John Longshore, who'll be in studio. Whole gang will break it down. My man, it is a pleasure for you to come in. Shake your hand because I'm excited to see what you're going to do in the future,
yes,
bud.
Sir.
All right, that's Albert Taggart. Going to welcome in Coach Caleb Ross back in a second. You know, he's kind of over there having a good time, too. But first, before we do that, Taggart, he's out, and that's going to be it for us as well. We'll take another quick break, be back, and got a little bit more, going to break down some more stuff, get some coaching stuff, kind of some more game plan. And, look, you know, if you want to send us questions, don't be afraid to send it in. Just tweet at me at Daryl Puckett. Send it at Prattville Lions, the official football Twitter page as well. Hey, look, I'm all about answering questions. Get out to the people. Get to the community. That is what we do on the show. So many ways you can listen. Dixie Country 100.1 Prattville Live, YouTube. Watch us, DixieCountry.com, and ask Alexa to play Dixie Country. Stay with us. You're listening to the Coach Caleb Ross Show.
Chip Powell here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet with sales manager Kirk Mims, where LP also stands for low prices. Kirk, talk about your deals here.
Man, it's a great time here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. You know what? Football is here, but football also means fall savings at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. We got great prices. We got a great inventory. We got 0% financing on multiple models. There's never been a bigger time to shop. We have a great selection of used cars. You can go to LarryPuckettChevrolet.com.
Larry Puckett Chevrolet right here in Prattville, Alabama.
Think local. Think of all the skill and talent found right here in our community. Hands that build, hands that feed, teach, protect, and hands that heal. Guardian Credit Union reaches out to people just like you. Handling loans for new cars, opening doors to new homes, saying yes to fun and adventure. When you need a strong, steady financial hand, think local. Think Guardian.
Buffalo Rock is well known for Pepsi and other great soft drink brands. Did you know that Buffalo Rock is one of the River Region's largest full-service caterers? And have you heard about Micro Market? Buffalo Rock is leading the region with innovation to replace conventional vending at many of the larger industrial plants. Plant management loves it, and so do the employees. To find out more about Buffalo Rock Catering and the Micro Market, call Mike Barnett at 334-394-4452. The Buffalo Rock family is proud to support area schools. BuffaloRock.com.
It's time for a trip to Prattville Outdoors at 118 Highway 82 West in Prattville. Prattville Outdoors is locally owned, family operated. The Johnson brothers and Viv. Prattville Outdoors with a great selection of Gravely zero-turn mowers. These are top zero-turn mowers, residential or commercial. Buy now with no money down, 0% financing for up to 48 months, and they got all the sales and service to back up everything they do there at Prattville Outdoors. So when you're ready to buy a brand new lawnmower, you need to go to the people that know their stuff. Go to PrattvilleOutdoors.com or follow on Facebook.
Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish. Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish.
I only use U.S. farm-raised catfish.
We've been selling U.S. farm-raised catfish since 1978.
They do have a choice for a good, wholesome, safe fish. We know it's a good product.
Ask for U.S. farm-raised catfish, only the finest, freshest, tastiest. You can taste the difference.
From our farm to your table, your family deserves the best. U.S. farm-raised catfish.
Chip Powell here with Lewis Mills, service manager of Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers. Lewis, talk to us about your Express Oil Change.
Well, our Express Oil Change, we have a full-line mechanical shop. We do 10-minute oil changes, and we are a full-fledged tire shop. We're a direct dealer with Michelin, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, and Yokohama.
When you need service, your oil change and tires, come here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Express Oil Change and Tires Engineer.
Welcome back in for the last time, Coach Caleb Ross Show. And Coach, man, this is the last little bit that we're going to have, last little talk that we do each week before you move on, and it's Wetumpka Week. We've talked about that this entire show. Man, you know, just from a confidence-wise, mentality-wise, what does the coaching staff and the head coach think about right now before you head into a big game like this?
You know, as far as the game, man, I mean, you're just a mix of emotions, man. I think this is what really drives, you know, man, we talked about last week all the purpose and stuff like that, but, you know, people ask, well, why do you coach? Man, for all the reasons, all right? We coach because we want to make a better, difference in kids' lives. We really want to make an impact, man. We enjoy the competition, but, man, I love the feeling the night before. You start a little bit of build-up. It's an anxious feeling. You're not really nervous. You're not really scared. You're just anxious, man. You're just anxious. I felt the same way when I played. It hadn't really changed since I've started coaching. Tomorrow will be like a slow build-up, man. It really will. So you'll start off. It'll be, man, in the morning time. It's
4:15, super chill.
That's it is. But as you go on, the day goes on. Somewhere about 2:30, 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Man, that switch starts to flip. And,
gets
man,
real.
you start to get just zoned in, man, where you're almost really, really focused. And it's just one of those feelings, man, that I tell people pregame, like being out on the field for the game, it's the best and the worst feeling, man. You just get all these nerves and just anxious moments. But also, too, you can't replicate that feeling, man. You just really can't. I know I made a mistake one time of telling my wife that, she said, how'd you feel getting married? I was like, man, it felt right before we got married. It felt like a really big ball game. And she's like, don't ever say that again, ever. You know what I mean? I was like, that's probably a bad
It's
reference.
the truth, though. I mean,
But
it's something that
exactly.
resonates with you.
That's it. It does. I said, and it's, man, man, things. It's a feeling that, man, it really is. And I won't say it's like intoxicating, but it really is, man. It's a rush. But, you know, man, and those things are small reasons why you coach. And there's obviously, man, you know, your kids being born and stuff trumps those, and that's a different type of joy and feeling that you can only experience once that happens. So
that's joy. I think that's
really
a word you kind of threw out there.
It is, man. It's just a different feeling, but that's why we do it. So you ask how we feel, man. As far as that's the personal feelings. Now, as far as strategic and tactical, we've had a good week. I really like our plan on both sides. I do. Our kids are prepared. So for me as a coach, what all can you ask for? You can only take the information that you have and make the best decision possible. And so far, the information I have is we've had a good game plan. Our kids have executed in practice. They're dialed in. They're ready to go. We all expect it to be a ball game too, man. Our kids aren't. They're confident, but they're not cocky, man. They know that Wetumpka's got a really good football team, and they know this is going to be a full-quarter battle.
The wife, the kids, what's the pre-game, you know, ritual tonight? You taking them out for ice cream?
No, we do usually, man. It's because it's truthfully Thursday nights are one of the few nights I'm actually home to actually put my kids in bed sometimes. So
something you look forward to, right there.
I do. Now tonight, actually, we're going to go and meet some friends of ours and go have dinner. My kids are going to be there, so we get a chance to. You know, we don't usually do that. Usually we kind of stay in and watch either Monday night, NFL football on Thursday night or some college football game and put my kids in the bed, read bedtime story, get do a little bit of that. But tonight we're going to go grab something to eat with some friends and we'll kind of do that. But so we don't have really like any, you know, traditional pregame routine. There's a few things that we do. I mean, that, you know, man, that are traditional, I suppose, but nothing the night before. So.
Big Wetumpka game tomorrow night. You know, it's a game that it's not gonna matter at the end of the day when you look at region standings, trying to make your way towards Class 7A playoffs. But a lot of bragging rights, a lot of pride that goes into a rival game like this. And Coach, man, just talking with some of the players. Taggart, I mean, incredible young man, 10th grade, doing what he's doing on the field. Seems really, really humble. Man, you know, just from my side of things, and I think other people's side on the outside, it's looking like that you guys really prepared well. And, you know, it's a confidence. It's not cockiness. It's just confidence in the way that you got to prepare for a game like this.
Yeah, I mean, I you know, like I said, we've talked about this before. They say, I mean, your teams take on your personality. I guess I don't want everyone to sound like we've got it figured out because we don't. You know, we don't, man, by far. But we do like what we do, and I do like where our kids are, man. I want them to be poised. I do. I want them to be confident. I really do. And a kid like Taggart, man, you talking about the sky is the limit. Unbelievable, man. He's just scratching the surface of how good he can be. I mean, God's blessed him with a lot of natural ability. He's fast. He's explosive. He's a powerful guy, man, and he's a competitor, man. And what I love about that kid now, for a 10th grader, he is a competitor. I mean, it's almost like, Coach, give me the ball, and I'm going to go make this happen. It doesn't matter. And that's really incredible, man. It really is. And then so it hit the sky as his body develops, as he gets – and he's grown so much just in the short time we had him. Sometimes when you're in junior high ball, youth league, or even freshman football, it's, hey, here's football, go. You know what I mean? And just because you're the best athlete, you either outrun them, run through them, run over them, or whatever, you know. But for high school football, you can't do that. Those days are over with. So you've got to be smart. You got to stay behind your pads. You got to let the blocking set up for you. Let the scheme work for you. He is starting to figure that out. And, man, it's really scary I guess scary for everybody else. Really good for us of what he could become.
Will Barrett, Chip Powell, the entire game. Pre-game starting right here in Dixie Country, 100.1, starting at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. They're going to go live at 6:45. Get all your coverage, all the big thing that's happening. That's going to wrap it us for this week for the Coach Caleb Ross Show. Remember, in just about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, the Nick Saban Show. You want to stick around for that right here on Dixie Country. Next week for us, same time, same location, 5:30 to 6:30. Another 7th and 8th grade game here at Stanley-Jensen Stadium. Prattville, man, doing big things. Big game week tomorrow night against Wetumpka. Of course, lace-up pregame. We'll be out there. Have your highlights on the Alabama News Network starting at 10 o'clock. We'll lace up. For head coach Caleb Ross, I'm Daryl Puckett. We'll see you next week. You're listening to the Coach Caleb Ross Show.